All right, SSL Family Dad with Simple Suburban Living, and today we're going to talk all about pallets. All right, so I've picked up a load full of pallets here. Our church actually did a huge pallet backdrop to our Christmas Eve service this year, and we have a whole bunch of extra pallets that they were willing to let me use some of and store some of them for them as well. So we've got a whole trailer full of pallets here. I've already unloaded half of it, and I just thought this would be a good time to go through what I look for when I'm doing pallet projects. We do have the raised beds and some other things that we're doing with pallet wood. Okay, so we've got all kinds of different pallets in here, and so that's why I thought this would be a good time to kind of talk about these. So one of the things you want to look for is the symbols or markings on the actual pallets, and if you look in here, we've got a real good example of one here. You'll see the symbol on the side here. This square is pretty universal. I think it's IPPC or something like that. This is an international regulation organization. They regulate these pallets, and there's a bunch of different markings here. I think it's country of origin and the place they're manufactured and the date. But the most important thing you want to look for is what treatments they have. So right down here we have HT, which is a heat treated, and so this pallet is heat treated, which is safe to use. So if you see this, you know that it's been certified, and you see HT, you know that this pallet is safe to use. There's a bunch of different markings here. So you can see up here, this one is kind of hard to see. And it looks like it might be an HT though, so that's probably a good one to use. You can kind of tell by the way the wood is too. There's another one upside down. But you'll see here, we've got one that looks like it has the marking MB, which is methyl bromide. This is CN, meaning it comes from China. Most of the junk that comes from China, like everything else that comes from China, unfortunately, is garbage. And so you want to throw this one away. In fact, the chemical that they use to treat this is known to harm humans. It's a pesticide. And so you probably shouldn't really even burn it or anything. I don't know what you do with it. Probably throw it in a landfill somewhere. But these are ones you do not want to pick up. Okay, so another thing that you want to look for, a lot of the pallets, these are, you know, not to make a short story long, but pallets are getting cheaper and flimsier and flimsier. The older the pallets, honestly, are the better ones, are the hardwood ones. A lot of these newer ones, you know, they're going with this cheap compressed wood, and this is plywood on here. That's not going to be good for much, you know, project-wise, and maybe you could use it for something. And this stuff burns great, but it's just glued together sawdust, basically. So you want to stay away from that kind of thing. The ones that I like to look for, anything like this with the thicker slats on them. These look like they're pretty good. This is heat treated, so this would be a good one. This one here, I would check for codes on this and see if I can find anything. This is a good one. There's a lot of wood on this one. So that right there is like one whole side of a raised bed garden. And so that would be a good one to use as long as it's not treated improperly. So we'll look for a code on those. Here's another real good one. I love these. These are oak, and you can tell by the pallets when you pick them up, they're super heavy, and that's the ones that are good as long as they're not treated with methyl bromide. So now some of these will not have, like, I see a stamp on here, and I've looked through some of these. Some of these don't have any markings on them at all, and it's really up to you if you want to use them or not. You know, pay attention to where you're getting them from. If it's a medical manufacturing company or something like that, or who knows wherever you're getting them from, pay attention to what they're using to ship them on. A lot of these, if they don't have that marking on it, that symbol like that, then they probably are local pallets. They're not international, and so those ones can be can be used most likely. That's really up to you, you know, if you want to use those or not. So you have to make your own judgment call. A lot of people will say don't use them at all if they are not labeled. That's fine. If you want to be safe with it, that's up to you. So another one you might see here is, let this focus in here, is the HT DB, or just DB, which means debarked. Anything usually debarked, if it doesn't have any other label on it and it has the international regulatory label on it or stamp on it, then you can pretty much assume that it's safe. So DB stands for debarked. So another couple things that I look for with the pallet wood, the wider slats are best. And a lot of times you'll end up with, you know, real thin ones like this. This is fine too. There's more of them usually on the pallet. And a lot of times on one side there'll be thin ones and one side there'll be thick ones. That's fine too. But the wider the slats, because this is really what we're looking for, is these nice slats to use for most of my projects anyway. Sometimes these too, depending on what you're looking for. This has a nice straight, almost like a 2x4, whereas some of them are notched out like this. And those can be used for different kinds of projects, so it just depends on what you're using it for. Another thing I look for is, it's the easiest way to take these apart, and I have a video, I'll put a link at the top here to how I take them apart, but with one center piece, one center support is best, just a lot less nails to take out. So like that one up there just has one center support, that one there has one center support, and I'm trying to look for one that has more. So this one down here has 1, 2, 3, 4 support. So, you know, a lot more nails, a lot harder to take apart, especially on the older ones that are hardwood. So something to think about when you're taking these things, or when you're picking them out, is what's going to be easiest to get apart as well. So this is kind of my my save pile of the ones that I'm going to save. And again, most of them have our heat treated marking on them, or they're not labeled, and it looks like heat treated wood to me. So one of the ones I thought, one of the things I always look for is logos on these pallets. I found some Coca-Cola and some other ones, and here we have a Monsanto one. This is actually a heat treated, safe to use pallet. I just thought it was funny. Maybe I'll find a way to use this in a garden bed as a joke, but maybe I could make an outhouse out of it. You know, we could give all of our crap back to Monsanto. But these are what I have separated out so far. I've got a lot more to go through. These over here are the ones I'm not going to use, and we're going to be storing these ones. So, but as you can see, if we can get in the light, still quite a few to go through here. So. But hopefully that helped you guys out. This is just a quick little kind of informational video. I'll be doing more stuff on gardening here coming up pretty soon with our garden beds, and what are some other pallet projects we have going on. So look forward to that. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. And if you guys have questions about pallet stuff, throw them down below. I'm by no means a super expert authority on pallets, but you know, I've done some research and use quite a bit of them. So let me know if you have questions or comments. I'd love to hear it. Or if you know something that I missed, please throw it down below for others to reference as well. So as always, guys, thanks for watching. Have a good one.